Yeah, I could tell this wind noise is going to be awful. Anyways, it's Friday at around 6:30, and just gonna see what's here. Friday nights usually, well, that's before COVID, was kind of one of the party nights, Friday night, Saturday night, when everyone can be out. It's late enough where anyone who does work is now off work. The medics are gone. The 10 people have moved up to the precinct. Some of them, minority of them. There's like 20 to 25 tents over there. And there's a lawsuit being filed by some local businesses and people around here. They were talking about that in yesterday's circles. So the circles are out there right now. Like people discussing stuff. We got a microphone too. I'll go ahead and head out there. Seems more awkward showing the light. Out for like how many other people have cameras. Makes me less awkward. See no one.
Okay, so for the past year, People's Assembly, one of the big topics is security. Everybody does want to talk about that. Should we break that up into a separate group by itself? Security?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to pick a spot? I don't know, over here. You go stand over that way if you want to be in the security group. It's a super important one. I think it overlaps with short term, but I think...
Alright, who's into security? Raise your hand. Okay, I see the most people kind of around here. So how about like at the intersection of the circle with the line? That'll be security.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how to do like trauma, like helping people with trauma?
Let's put that in security. I think
okay,
that's
cool,
right
cool.
in the same
Harm
thing.
reduction.
Yeah,
Thank
totally. Alright, who's into short-term strategy? Alright, if you're into short-term strategy, meet on the other end of the circle. Which is funny to say because it's the circle. Who is into long-term strategy? Alright, that guy. Meet on that end of the circle. Okay, and then vibes. Who's into vibes? Who wants to talk about vibes? Nobody wants to talk about vibes. Crazy. Well, okay.
I'll talk about vibes. I'll take care of vibes.
Okay, so that'll be up near the bleachers. Alright, are there any questions? Alright, so when you break into your groups, I'm going to make sure that you have someone who is a 1, timekeeper, 2, facilitator, 3, note keeper. Okay? Yes? Are you alive? Yes? Can I get a nod of the head, please? Yeah, okay, cool, great. We're going to break out for a half hour, I guess, and then we will come back. Does that sound good? Alright, so that means that we're going to come back together at 7:05. Okay? Alright, great, go!
We're done with that. All right? Can I get a consensus?
Oh yeah? We gotta top in order to get there. We gotta...
Give me a break.
I'm with you, we're on
Give
the
me a
same
break.
page. I'm saying, in order to do what you're saying...
I know, we've been hearing you and hearing you and hearing you. We got you. We got you. We hear you. And I'm working on it. Okay?
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, Dragon.
All right. We got this. Everybody deserves a voice. Everybody, no more interruptions. I love you all. You guys are awesome. I don't care if you're white, black, Mexican, or whatever. Black lives matter. Am I right? What matters?
Black Lives Matter.
Thank you. Have a peaceful night. I love you.
All right, Busy Dragon. All right, I would like to request that the note keepers come up and share with everybody. Is there not note keepers? We got one note keeper. Is there another note keeper? Okay, we got two note keepers. Is the oh, okay? He's doing his thing. It's cool. It's let that simmer. There you go. Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay. So I was in short-term strategies. The main thing that we talked about was we need better political education. One idea that we had was possibly streaming like city council meetings here so that people can watch them as a group and maybe discuss them afterward. Make sure that we all actually understand the budget process and what defunding the police would actually look like and the terminology so we know what success sounds and looks like. Somebody also mentioned possibly working on the history of occupation and bringing in people who have also been successful in those movements and help educate us. There's a list that she has that is going to be a new group if we want to talk about education activities to do. Right over there where she's waving it.
Are you going to pass that around? All right, pass that
Yeah,
around.
for people to sign up. Either way, she's passing it around, maybe? Yeah, sorry. Then another thing was about Sunday, whether we want to defend the precinct, and if we do, like what tactics we should be using. Somebody mentioned locking ourselves to things as being one thing. Also just the importance of having the precinct. And how holding the precinct is a form of defunding the police because it's using up their money in a way that they can't actually do anything. It sets a good example, basically saying that they don't need that much money. And it just uses it up. Also just about how the mayor is trying to kind of spin the media to get us to leave peacefully. And how it would be better possibly if we stayed here and let the police eventually come in, and the media narrative is going to be much better for our side if the mayor is forced to use the police. Yeah. And then also just needing more bodies here again, and how we can either maybe organize events, maybe provide more specific projects, help people get into groups, and ways to kind of bring culture back in. Oh, and also just like learning what can we share with the world. It just might be interesting to kind of reflect on that. And somebody was talking about making a list or working on a project about it. That's mainly it. Oh, and just that our demands have not been met. That was the other conclusion.
You got a question or what?
I have a clarification, which is that
Get on the microphone first. You gotta turn it, everybody turn it on before and off when you're done.
Sorry. Clarification, which is that there are two things that I think are being conflated. One is the SDOT coming to take away the concrete barricades on Sunday, and the other thing is the precinct, which as I understand, like these are kind of two separate things, I think. And we were talking as if they were two separate things in the meeting, but just in the note-taking relay just now, I think they got mixed up a little bit. So yeah.
Word. Alright, Jesse, you are also an article. Would you like to go? Jesse with the clipboard killing it today, y'all. Extra hand for Jesse.
It was really quick and vibe check. It kind of piggybacks a little bit off of short term. The first thing we talked about is the concern of like facial recognition and how many people are coming in and videotaping, and we're starting to get press that wants to get in here. And I think we can all agree we do need some good press. So just one idea was educating everyone on how to protect yourself, your own facial recognition, like identity. There's makeup, there's all kinds of tutorials that you can use, cover your face and things like that. We thought that would help with some of like the conflicting people coming in, trying to check the temperature or whatever in here, and we're like sending them out, turning cameras off, etc. The other thing we talked about is just the need for heavier presence of peaceful protesters, not like security force or anything like that. Like we just need to get the people that were in here back in here to keep it, because we know the vibe changes like from day to night, and we need to get the peaceful people back in. So not really any great ideas on how to do that, but we do know that that's important. We also don't want it to become a music festival or anything like that, but they were mentioning that like for vibes, like having some kind of music, I don't know what the consensus would not be a bad idea. That would also kind of foster like a more welcoming atmosphere for people who are coming in. Also just the neighborhood, like people who live here, like just give it a little more relaxed vibe. And they mentioned maybe switching to having some drones for security would be a good idea, because you know, drone operator doesn't exactly look like an armed security guard. And then also just again the importance of having like harm reduction, trauma reduction, mental health professionals come in, because that's a lot. It seems like a lot of the issues that we're coming across. So we're really discussing.
Word. Any clarifying questions or direct responses? I'm gonna get on the microphone before we I can't even hear us.
There's a big problem, the identity issues. Like, I see myself on Twitter all the time, and I don't feel with this society that police just checking out every person on Facebook, everything is just there for them to see and just program ourselves, like, you know, people, like, you know, where they are, what's their job, where they live, so it's not safe. So what's the answer? Like, how should I just cover myself, like, you know, makeup or face mask or like whatever is that?
No, that's okay. It's a great question. I don't have like the perfect answer, but I do know that there are makeup techniques that can be used, male or female or non-binary, that will, it stops the facial recognition technology from being able to like put your face in the algorithm. So it's like putting like sharp angles on your eyes or makeup on your nose that distorts what your actual physical features would be like. And then that's what's to help. I don't think it's guaranteed. It's just one of the things I think we all have to acknowledge, that there's an inherent risk with being a protester in this space, especially with just the things the way they are. If you're like particularly sensitive, I think, like, you know, for whatever reasons, your own personal reasons, I think just taking personal measures to keep your face off, and of course, you can tell people not to record you and ask them not to put things up. But
and just to add to that, there's a bunch of stuff on YouTube.
It's a pass it around kind of deal.
If they're being taken by the media, they should be asking you for, that's legal, period. So if anybody's taking your photos or they're taking your pictures and they're using your likeness, they should have your permission.
I think we're misunderstanding what a peaceful protest is. I think majority here are white, and they don't understand a different culture. Like my culture, we're peaceful people, but we do not do it quietly. We do it with heart. We celebrate hard. We celebrate loud, and it may look to you guys like something else, but for us it's peaceful. So if you misunderstand my peacefulness, I think that's what's going on, or that we could all be out here on my culture and doing it peacefully, and you might look at it like, oh my God, they're getting out of hand, and that's not even the case. I think it's just a misunderstanding of what my culture is, and you're not understanding what my culture is. And about the barricades, they put them up. They could take them out whenever they want. I really could care less about that. Thank you.
So as I was stating earlier, the only way that this protest is really going to work is that we control the narrative. If we have no control over the narrative, they're going to say and do whatever they want. If you have been home at any point in time and watched the news and watched Fox News, all they keep talking about is how there are violent protesters down here. I've been sitting on the sidelines for 2 weeks because I've been busy working. I got the next week off. You're going to see my face. I'm going to be here. And we're going to fucking get some movement. We're going to get the right type of movement. So with that said, if any media wants to talk to you, defer to a real leader, unless you want to say something personally, and then take it upon yourself to say it. Don't speak for the group. If any media is out here taking your pictures, if they're taking your video, they need to have you sign a release. That is a fact. They cannot use your likeness without getting a written consent from you. That's the fact. So if they're trying to take your video or do anything and they don't ask you for that, they're really just screwing all of us. So that's all I'm going to say about that in the media sense. And as I said, you guys have been doing a great job. You guys have been out here 2 weeks, have been taking knocks, have been taking tear gas. I fucking applaud you. I appreciate you. Us black people here, we need your help. We need your help not because we need your help, it's because the problem lies within the white community. I'm sorry, I have to say it the only way I can say it. No disrespect to anybody. I want all people to marry. I care about my black fucking life, but I care about everybody else's life. I'm an ex-fucking military. I am an EMT. I work for a lot of shit and done a lot of shit in my life. I'm here to help you guys organize, get this shit together, and let's actually get some movement. And if people want to fucking take that building and we take it for community, that's what we should do. We should set it in our hearts and in our minds to do so, and not to budge from that. But if you want to be wishy-washy about it, don't waste your fucking time talking about it, because that's all it is. A waste of time, and it convolutes the message. That's all I have to say for now. Thank you very much for your time.
Do we have any? Hold on, we're getting to it. Hold on. Did anyone have any? I'm sorry, Jesse. What was your group? Is there anyone else who had a response directly to Vibe Check? You did. I definitely can't hear you.
This is just something like really quick on facial recognition. I have like a graduate degree in AI, so I guess I'll like tell you guys. So first of all, like AI systems are very, very dumb, and something to like really take into account is that there's a lot of racial bias in these models. Like it will detect a white man precisely, however when you get to black people, it can be really wrong. So just make sure to tell like the black people around wear face masks and like cover themselves as much as possible, because it could be that they could scan that face and then determine that it's someone else, and someone else will get arrested for action that they did not commit. So that's really important. As for actually covering up, if you just put on like a face mask and this, they won't be able to determine your identity. They'll just know that this is a face. However, they do not have enough information to know what this face is or who it is. Also, make sure to cover your nose as much as you can. Like, have a mask that fully protects what your arch looks like and everything. That's all I have to say. Also, asymmetric. If you want to do makeup, it has to be asymmetric. You know, human faces are generally pretty symmetric. Draw weird lines. There are many YouTube video tutorials online for that.
Thank you.
Good. All right. And is this a telephone question or?
I just want to say real quick.
Whoever is the next note taker that wants to speak, please come up here.
I just want to say real quick, the makeup can be really dangerous.
If anyone's going over there, part of that guy's thing is he thinks he's Gabriel, so just keep that in account. And this one doesn't have to.
Mental health.
All I wanted to say is that makeup can be dangerous with tear gas. If you have makeup on your face and you get tear gas, it can like sear, it can make it last longer on your face and cause more damage. And so something like sunglasses or goggles, I think it's probably the best bet.
Use oil-free makeup. Oil-free makeup. Alright, who's the next
Oil-free
note
makeup
person?
is what they're saying.
Clarifying question. Alright, who's the next notes person? Are you the next?
I just want to say, keep in mind that, you know, it was revealed that there's parallel construction, meaning that some of the things they say that they caught the person with, like facial recognition, like, oh, the Etsy shirt or whatever, that is made up. They're using illegal means to figure out who you are, so keep that in mind. Don't get too paranoid, too.
You had another question? Alright, who's the next notes person? Alright, then that was a good question. I think we should put it next. Yeah, Jesse, can I get that?
There you go. All right. I just had a question to anyone if there is a cleanup crew. I know that may sound really strange, but this is our home, and I'm seeing a lot of like cigarette butts and things like that I know could be cleaned up. I'm totally down if anyone else is to help clean up too. But this is our home. Come on, like, yeah. All right. That was it.
Well, can they talk to you about that? Alright, so they're gonna come find you.
Please come find me.
Alright, is there another note taker who's ready to present?
Hey, so for the long term, we kind of went over a general, we just kind of didn't do any deep diving or anything, it was kind of a general. But, so we came up with like, I like what you had to say about this leaderless direct democracy, to kind of have a, kind of create a valid structure for it.
Coming up here and chatting is not easy. I know both of us came here to gain knowledge and not really to speak, but sometimes you got to speak, and if you don't necessarily feel like you need to. But we were in the long-term strategies group, and we came up with a few things for just longevity in general. But immediately we were talking about black leadership over the short term and the long term. Of course, the main focus is on black lives. So we want people to be able to speak. Everybody has a voice, but we want the primary people, obviously, to focus to be on black leadership, so black leadership can get their voices across. But we say we want a leaderless direct democracy as well. We don't want one or a couple of black people per se just be in the face. We want everybody to be a leader, everybody to be a voice, and everybody to basically be an ambassador for our culture and our people. We talked about a mission statement. You know, of course, Black Lives Matter. We all say that. But we need to come up with a stronger and a long-term mission statement as well. Something that doesn't cause so much like problems and hatred in general. And the reason I say that specifically is because I'm a multiracial individual. I grew up in a black neighborhood all of my childhood before I went to the military myself. And as a multiracial individual, I've, for the most part, struggled with my racial identity. It is something that I've recently come into true grasp and acceptance through therapy and everything else. It's been a struggle. But my life matters just as much as everybody else. But I acknowledge I am black, I'm white, I'm Native American as well. And so I speak for a lot of people, and I've talked to, even just yesterday, I was speaking to a lot of white people,
in just different states. I've gotten a lot of hatred over Facebook over speaking of Black Lives Matter, All lives includes Black lives. And we as a people need to acknowledge the atrocities that are going on in this world. Now, when people do say things like all lives matter, a friend of mine said, well, that's racist. And I said to him, so it's racist for me to speak of the suffering that goes on in other people's lives as well. When I deployed to Iraq and I saw so much suffering going on over there as well, and I have friends in every nationality. Do their lives matter less than mine?
It's
No.
racist
And a
because
lot of
it's
times
changing
when
the
those
topic
people
and
speak up,
it's detracting from the focus.
just listen, and then you can get your rebuttal back. But at the end of the day, those people as well, if they have not ever really been associated with Black lives at all, if they've never been around Black people and all they have is negative experiences from Blacks, unfortunately, there are people who have those experiences. And then they see things such as Black Lives Matter. They personally feel as though it is an attack on themselves. And so, yes, they may say all lives matter. And it doesn't mean as though Black lives are any less important than their lives. But, so basically when I say a mission statement and long term, we need to look at unity. We need to motivate people. We need to intrigue people to do the research, to gain knowledge. I just speak to a 73-year-old woman yesterday about how supposedly slavery ended centuries and centuries ago. What are you talking about? Slavery obviously ended in 1863, Juneteenth, 1865. I can go heavily into it. The Civil Act to abolish segregation was in 1964. That's 60 years ago.
Tomorrow here at 5 o'clock.
Okay. So overall, basically the debrief is we need to come up with a better message so we can come to unity as a people as well. Because obviously, after we even eventually in the future get past the Black Lives Matter issue, there's still going to be a lot of issues in general.
If you guys are wondering what's next and what unity looks like, this is what it looks like. This is a march led by Black women. We are going to the West Precinct. This is our 4th day. If you want to join us, we are marching now. If you come to CHAZ, you should march with us. 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 March with us.
Yo, this is the group I was repping at the beginning of the meeting. They're on the same page as us. I highly encourage us to march with this group. And meet back here tomorrow at 5 every day.
How can we each do our part? How can we each be an ambassador for this movement? We need to take our passion and focus it, not focus on hatred and anger and fear. We need to focus on getting our message understood in the short term and in the long term. That's the long-term plan.
And I just want to answer that one more thing. All right, every day at 5 right here, okay? Spread the word. Every day at 5 right here.
If anyone wants to stick around for like 2 minutes, there were some actual
No, it's just a recording.
Are you with anyone?
Just me. I upload it to YouTube. If you search for Earthworm CHAZ, you'll find my stuff. Yeah, I just upload. I don't edit, really. I just upload.
A guest information center. Because most of the articles and most of the journalists around here are just walking around talking to random people they feel comfortable walking up to. But if we had an information center, I feel like that could just make our point that much more clear. We also talked about because it's Pride Month and we're in Capitol fucking Hill, we thought one day a week, every Friday, we thought it would be cool if we had a person
I think that's the right idea there, the speech circles. The format is there's multiple small circles for different issues, and there's a designated note taker. Small circle discusses, and then the note taker relays what was discussed. But I don't think my group had a note taker. I did not film my small group because I just asked, like, hey, is everyone okay with filming here? And there was a couple people who were super uneasy about it, and it was like a small group of like, I don't know, 7 or 8 people, so I just didn't film that part. But I'll tell y'all what I talked about. I brought up qualified immunity and filming, and the idea that it seems like the protesters want to remove qualified immunity from police and have them turn on their body cams all the time, which sort of seems like the idea is to make police like normal citizens with the same liability. And so I was kind of stating my observation that people here seem to be not liking filming, and then as soon as anything bad happens, the first thing everyone starts saying is stop filming. So brought that up. It was controversial, but it was discussed and it was interesting, and yeah. And also in the middle there was two guys, one chasing the other. One guy had a big old wrench, like 1.5 foot long wrench, and was trying to hit the other guy. The other guy thought it was a mental health case. I don't know about the guy with the wrench, but it seemed like people handled it. So it's a different thing here now with none of the medics, and there don't seem to be any people doing the open carry thing here anymore. So I haven't seen any of the John Brown Gun Club people, haven't seen any of the normal people that were doing the open carry with rifles and handguns, which is perfectly legal here. I'm gonna get an art update. I like this. I think this is new. I don't remember seeing this yesterday. That's gonna be the video thumbnail right there, probably. Leave your beef at home. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, no one's touching that one. Everyone's just leaving it. Scroll on the outside and scroll on the inside. Removed when people, one day we were expecting the police to come in at 8 p.m. but then they didn't. Now it's moved back. It's a gruesome one. A lion eating a pig. Yeah, sort of the basic rules of the filming are, well, used to be don't film medics, but now there's no medics. And but now it's just kind of like co-op to my right. That's generally a no film thing. Well, I don't see any no filming signs over there anymore. Interesting. Oh, that's great. I love that. That's amazing. I think this is like where that doctored photo was. That's going to be the thumbnail right there. Oh, that's great. Still every day I come down here, things are changing. other size of it there. Yeah, so I was going to capture the memorial. Got that in a separate file. Guys, not wanting me to take pictures of it. So I'll go ahead and get rid of that file. So that's it for me today. I won't be coming back here tonight just because there doesn't seem to be all too much going on. This is new right here. I hadn't seen this before.